Well, hello everybody. I thought I'd let you know, bring you up to date on the whole truck issue. Did it get fixed? Well, let's see, Saturday morning my friends came over, tried, what did they do on Saturday? Oh, he looked to see if there was a loose connection, didn't find anything. You know, that neighbor is not a mechanic. He knows a lot, but he's not a mechanic. And so I made arrangements with somebody to take me to church. Actually, my Sunday school teacher is only a couple miles away, which is, for out here, that's close. So I go to church Sunday morning. And one of my friends at church, he is an auto mechanic. He's actually more than just an auto mechanic. I believe he was in the Air Force and can do maintenance on planes and stuff. But right now his profession is he works for TxDOT as an auto mechanic. Does other things I know too. But TxDOT, for those of you who do not live in Texas, the Tex part stands for Texas, and the DOT is the Department of Transportation. He maintains all of their vehicles and more. So, this Prairie just walked by. She's on her tire. Making sure I hadn't, my dog wasn't loose. But she's not. So, it was his father who helped clean my battery off 2 weeks ago. They all knew what was going on. They are the ones who gave me a ride home from the Christmas party on Friday. So they were talking with their son, who's an auto mechanic. And he was convinced that it was my battery. Even though it was making all the clicking noises and wasn't turning over and wouldn't jump start, he said sometimes they are so dead that they won't even jump start. And he was convinced it was the battery. Well, he's one of those people, when it comes to auto mechanics and stuff, you listen to him. You know, he knows what he's talking about. So I came home on Sunday after my Sunday school teacher dropped me off. I immediately started, I contacted the other friends who, and told them what my auto mechanic friend had said. And then I started looking for the documentation of when I got the tire, the new battery. And it happened to be kind of easy for me because the battery that had just, at the time we were thinking was dead, I knew exactly when I got that battery. It just so happened that that was the day I drove to Kerrville to pick up Houston, my escapee dog. After getting him, I had met in this, there was a whole bunch of people who transported him from Oklahoma. They would drive for an hour or two, transfer him to somebody else who would drive for an hour or two, until the last person brought him to me. And so I'd had no problems whatsoever, get Houston in the truck, turn the ignition to start, and nothing. Absolutely nothing. And so there were some guys around, on motorcycles really. So we got my jumper cables out and hooked them up and used one of their motorcycles and got the truck started. But they were saying, your battery's dead, you need a new battery. Well, I'm out in the boonies. I was terrified to drive all the way home with the fear that I may not be able to start the truck the next morning. And this was on a Saturday after 8 o'clock. I was supposed to meet her at 8, and she was a few minutes late. So it was pretty, there wasn't anybody open. But we knew, the plan was, she was going to follow me. She didn't want to leave me alone. We were going to go to Walmart because we knew they would be open. It was a 24-hour Walmart, and I could at least get a battery there. Well, as I'm driving down Highway 16, also known as Sidney Baker in Kerrville, I see an auto parts store with all their lights on and cars in front. So I immediately drove into their parking lot. And she followed me in, walked in, told them what happened. They come out, look at the battery, and I'm sure the battery that had died came with the truck. I purchased this truck in 2012. It's a 2011 Nissan Frontier. So it probably had been there the whole time, from the manufacturer had installed it. So I bought the, gold battery that would last me, I think they said 5 years. I can't remember for sure. Paid for it. They went and they installed the battery. So I have a reference point of when that battery was purchased and installed. So knowing it hadn't been that long, I managed to figure out the store. There's only a couple on Sidney Baker, and I called and I said, I think this is the store I got it at. This is what's going on. I want to find out if it's still under warranty. And she looked me up, and she said, yes, it's under warranty. And I went, hallelujah. So I called back my great neighbor friends and asked them to take me to Kerrville today. This is Monday. They got here around 8 in the morning, called me around 8 in the morning, am I ready, or texted me actually. So they texted me, they came over. It was going to take a few minutes to get the battery. I wasn't quite ready when they texted, but by the time they got the battery out, I was ready. Drove to Kerrville. We're talking like it's probably over where this store is. That's probably 65-mile drive each way. So it's an hour trip. Get there. The battery, if I'd had to pay for this battery, it would have been $131. But I had a 3-year warranty, and the 3 years would have expired April 2019. I didn't pay a penny. This battery had gotten tested 2 weeks ago by somebody in Rock Springs, and he had told me that it was fully charged. The starter part was a little weak, but he thought I had another year on the battery. The cash register at the auto parts store was saying they wanted it tested. She got out her little box and she tested it, and she said, it's saying it needs to be charged. So obviously it had run out of gas or, energy. A little strange. I don't know how these work. I am not an auto mechanic. I can't do anything to repair a truck or anything. So I have no idea how this works. How can a battery just fail so quickly? How can a battery that was working fine and giving off information that it was fine and fail so quick? It was also all the cleaning that had been done 2 weeks ago. You couldn't tell. It was so corroded where it had just been cleaned. And I guess it was oozing stuff it shouldn't have been oozing. I don't know. Maybe somebody watching this knows how that is and can kind of share. I don't know. I wanted to share my experience for those of you who are like me and don't know. Whenever I've had a bad battery, it's usually probably was factory installed battery and had ended its life. My last vehicle got totaled. I didn't have a vehicle in San Antonio, and when I lived in California beforehand, never needed a vehicle. So I haven't been a long-term vehicle owner. So, I haven't had to deal with this kind of stuff. But, the woman at the store, she says, I'm overriding this because it doesn't make any sense. And she gave me a brand new battery for nothing because it was under warranty. I have that receipt. I know exactly where I'm going to put it in the files. But coming home, it suddenly dawned on me how I can remember if this battery should go bad within 3 years, because I have a 3-year warranty on this battery now, I won't have any trouble remembering the date I bought this battery. Now, my mother passed away, I believe, in 2008. But today's her birthday, and I think I recently did the math. I think she would have been 81 today, I think. But it's, as I'm filming this, it's December 17th, the day I bought this battery, and it's my mom's birthday. So all I have to do is remember that on my mom's birthday is when I got this battery. If something should go wrong in the next year or two, I will have that in my brain, hopefully. So I just thought, it just happened that the last time my battery died, it happened on a day with a major event that I'm probably going to remember the rest of my life. And now I get a new battery on a date I will never forget that December 17th is my mother's birthday. So I thought that was kind of amusing when it dawned on me that this battery was purchased on my mother's birthday. And I got it for free because it's under warranty. So I'm going to keep that paper because it has the store phone number and everything. Will make it a little easier because I had to look on the internet to figure out which store I had gone to. Because actually, the battery says CarQuest, but that's not what it says on the building. It's not CarQuest on the building. It's something else. So that made it a tad confusing. But I just wanted to share that with everybody. If you're like me and you haven't had a lot of experience with having, auto issues and stuff, my great neighbors were thinking because it would not, with jumper cables, he couldn't jump it, period. It just made a clicking noise. He was thinking it was a solenoid starter or a loose wire or something. And yet my auto mechanic friend said if it was really, really dead, jumping won't even work. Oh, another thing is I had made arrangements for that mobile auto mechanic to come this morning. Well, when it became apparent that it might be the battery, I sent him a text and told him, my neighbors are going to take me to Kerrville to get a new battery because it's under warranty. And he agreed that would be the best, because I wouldn't have to pay or anything. But he was coming back from Austin. So he's going to go right by me to get to his homestead. He just recently moved out here and is trying to start a homestead not far away. So he came and he had a jumper box and he hooked that up and my truck started right away. And apparently those things are much more powerful than jumper cables. And he told me, he then took the little cable was off his thing. And he said, if it's your alternator, after a few minutes, your truck will die because will have used up all the energy that had been given to the battery through the jump. So we let it run for a few minutes, and it kept running. So he said some other things too that I wish I could remember now, but he agreed that I needed to go get a new battery. He's really nice kid, young. I'm guessing he's in his 20s or maybe probably 30s, early 30s or late 20s. But very helpful. He didn't charge me anything, of course. But he did say, if the battery doesn't solve the problem and I decide I need a new starter, give him a call kind of thing. If I have another issue that I really do need a mechanic and my truck is here, I probably will call him. If I cannot drive to go somewhere, you know, because tows are expensive, and it's 15 miles just to Rock Springs, so from here. And the first mile is a pretty, it's a caliche road, which basically is a type of dirt, clay, lime. It's great for road material, but I've got some wonderful potholes. They're more like canyons than potholes since we had all that rain. But I just want to share that information. So, you know, because 2 weeks ago, I was told my battery was tested and it came out pretty much fine. I was told I had another year. And yet, obviously, less than 2 weeks later, my truck won't even start, won't even turn over, nothing. And so the people, you know, my friends who aren't professional auto mechanics was actually thinking it was something else. And so I just wanted to share that with you, that if you should come to this kind of situation where you're being told that there's nothing wrong with your battery, that it's still has some life in it, and then suddenly your truck won't, or your car, whatever, isn't running at all, don't assume that it might be, that it has to be something else because you were told the battery was good. Obviously, my battery wasn't good. Don't know, you know, don't understand the mechanics of how it could fail so quickly, but I just wanted to share that information with you guys in case something like that should happen to you. And you'll know, you won't waste your money by somebody trying to trick you. I mean, we all know that there are some people out there who aren't honest and might try to trick you into thinking that it is your starter or your alternator or something else is going on, and when actually all you need is a new battery. So all I've done is start the truck. I haven't driven anywhere, but it's pretty obvious that the problem was the battery. And I now can hop in the truck and go somewhere, go to town if necessary, which is important. I mean, this is pretty much the boonies. I'm a single woman out here by myself. You know, I do have Prairie for protection, but, you know, she's only so much protection. So, and if I, for some reason, need to leave now, then I need to leave now, and I need a running truck. So I just wanted to let everybody know what was going on with my truck. And I hope you're having a wonderful day, and God bless you.